On April 15, 2014, the Sewol Ferry departed from Incheon, carrying 476 passengers, including 325 Danwon High School students. The vessel, overloaded with cargo and improperly secured, sailed under clear skies, its crew and passengers unaware of the impending disaster. Safety drills were neglected, and life jackets remained untouched. This false sense of security would soon shatter, exposing systemic negligence in South Korea's maritime safety regulations. The ferry's instability, due to excessive renovations and poor weight distribution, set the stage for tragedy. At 8:48 a.m. on April 16th, the Sewol began listing dangerously after a sharp turn. Panic erupted as passengers were instructed to stay put, a fatal order from the crew. The Coast Guard's delayed response and conflicting commands worsened the chaos. Only 22 of the 46 lifeboats were deployed, and rescue helicopters prioritized crew over students. This catastrophic mismanagement, compounded by the captain's abandonment, led to 304 deaths, most trapped inside. The disaster revealed a chilling disregard for human life and a failure of leadership at every level. As the ferry sank, live broadcasts showed its gradual submersion, while families at Jindo Port received no updates. President Park Geun-hye's 7-hour disappearance and her later statement, blaming victims' poor judgment, sparked outrage. Divers risked their lives to recover bodies, but the government's botched response, including falsified reports, deepened the tragedy. Public trust collapsed as evidence emerged of ignored distress calls and prioritized cargo salvage over lives. The nation watched in horror, realizing this was not an accident, but a man-made disaster. Yellow ribbons became symbols of a nationwide vigil as protests demanded accountability. Candlelight gatherings drew millions, with signs reading, "Remember 304" and "Truth before comfort." Bereaved families faced surveillance and smear campaigns, yet persisted in calling for an independent investigation. The Sewol Special Act, passed in 2016 after relentless pressure, was gutted by political interference. The movement exposed how deeply corruption was entrenched and how ordinary citizens became the moral conscience of a failing system. A decade later, empty desks in Danwon High and a seaside memorial in Onsan stand as haunting reminders. The official narrative remains contested, with key questions unanswered. Why were rescue teams delayed? Who ordered cargo overloading? Subsequent disasters like the 2022 Itaewon crush prove lessons went unlearned. The Sewol tragedy symbolizes South Korea's struggle with institutional rot and the enduring fight to honor victims by dismantling the systems that failed them. Their legacy lives in the ongoing cry, "Never again."